So I'm pleased to introduce you today to Team GH, who are presenting to you strategic entrepreneurial growth and developing a sustainable business plan. Team GH.
Kia ora and welcome everyone. I'm glad to present our group to you, Group GH, and we'll be presenting Chapter 11 and 16, which is Strategic Entrepreneurial Growth and Developing a Sustainable Business Plan, as you've already heard. Our team members today are Sandy, who will be presenting Strategic Planning, Shireen, who will be presenting Sustainable Entrepreneurial Growth, Shivam, that will be presenting Business Models, Sean, who will be presenting Why a Business Plan, and myself, who will be talking about why what goes into the business plan and kind of why it's necessary. I hope you enjoy our presentation and keep interested because we have a quiz and a game at the end. Cheers.
Good morning everyone, I'm Sandy, and Sufan, Shavin and I are going to cover the Chapter 11 Strategic Entrepreneurial Growth. And there are 10 objectives in Chapter 11. Now I will going to cover the first 3 objectives. Introduce strategic design, the reason why entrepreneurs do not carry out strategic planning, entrepreneur strategy development and the benefit of strategic planning. What means strategic planning? Strategic planning is a long-term planning. It's a process of defining objectives or decisions and make a sequence of steps that companies to achieve them. An entrepreneur's strategic style will be shifted from an informal to a formal, systematic for 3 reasons. First, the degree of uncertainty that impacts the venture. With greater levels of uncertainty, entrepreneurs have a greater need to deal with the challenge which their venture face, and a more responsive and adaptive strategic approach will help them shape their business model. Second, the strength of competition. It will add the importance of a more planned strategic approach in order for a new venture to monitor its operation and objectives. The last one is the amount and type of experience. A lack of adequate experience, either technological or business, may concentrate the entrepreneur's understanding. Therefore, it is necessary that the use of a formal strategic process to help determine future paths for the organization. Entrepreneur's strategy involves the formulation of long-range plans for the effective management of opportunities and strengths in light of a venture strength and weakness. Entrepreneur's strategy is a decision or plan that integrates the entrepreneur's team's intents into goals, policy, and action sequence to build a comprehensive business model. In dynamic nature, the strategic management process is full of segments, decisions, and actions required for a business to achieve competitive advantage and earn above average return. A well-formulated strategy helps to manage and require resource competent teams competency, compensate for relative shortcomings, anticipate change in the environment, and contingent move by intelligent opponents, and to form organization with a unique and viable posture. In an entrepreneur strategy, it includes to define the venture vision, mission, and strategic intents, specific objective, comprehend the complexity within a business model, develop strategies, and setting policy guidelines. Strategic development is the main step in determining the future direction of the business. There are five basic steps of strategic planning. Examining the internal and external environment, such as using SWOT analysis. Second, formulate and define the long and short range strategy, such as vision, mission, strategy, intent, objectives, business model design strategy, tactics, budget, and policy. Implement the strategic planning. Fourth, evaluate the performance of the strategy. 5. Take follow-up action through continuous feedback. However, for many reasons, entrepreneurs cannot carry out the strategic planning. There are 5 main reasons that entrepreneurs lack of strategic planning. Time security. Managers don't have enough time to allocate to the strategic planning in daily operating schedule. Lack of knowledge. In a small companies, owners and managers have minimal knowledge of planning process. Furthermore, the entrepreneurs are unfamiliar with many planning information sources and how they can be used. Lack of expertise and skill. In small companies, managers are generalistic and they often lack of specialist expertise. Lack of trust and openness. In small companies, owners and managers are highly sensitive and grab about their business and decisions. That they don't formulate strategic planning participation with their employees. The last one, perception of high cost. Small companies owner fears the expensive cost of strategic planning, so that they avoid and ignore planning. Strategic planning is valuable. The entrepreneur's business engaged in strategic planning will outperform than those who don't use it. Lacking of planning is one of the top reasons for many business failure. However, when entrepreneurs implement the strategy, there are some fatal flaws occur. Porter has noted 5 fatal strategic flaws. Misunderstanding industry. Many entrepreneurs associate with attractive industry which are growing the fast, but those attractive industries have higher barriers to entry, not real competitive advantage. Some entrepreneurs copy or imitate the strategy from their competitors. Although it is the least risk, they are not competitive advantage. To be successful, the new venture must have unique ways to complete. Pursuing an unprofitable competitive position. Aggressive entrepreneur may pursue a position of dominance in a fast-growing industry. However, they are busy to get process on it and that can sustain the advantage. Composting strategy for growth. If the entrepreneur gives up its unique strategy in order to have a fast growth, therefore the venture will go out of business. It's important the venture may maintain and grow their strategic advantage. The last one, failure to explicitly communicate with the venture strategy to employees. It's important the entrepreneur have a clear communication with their employees about the company's strategy. Entrepreneurs and strategic action. Strategic management means to establish and explore competitive advantage within the particular environment. Entrepreneurship is promoting the search for competitive advantage through product, process, and market innovation. When integrating the entrepreneurs and strategic action, it creates wealth to the company. Those wealth creations are innovation, networks, internationalization, organizational learning, top management teams and governance and growth. Strategic positioning. Strategic competition is the process of pursuing new positions that attract customers from established position or draw new customers into the market. Fundamental approach to strategic position include establishing and defining a defensible position, leveraging resources to dominate a market, pursuing opportunities to establish new market. The study has shown that benefits of strategic planning, efficient resource allocation, improved competitive positions, higher employees' morale, rapid decision making. That's all my presentation. Now I will pass to Sylvain to continue.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Shavam. I'll be talking about the entrepreneurs and their thinking style. So the three objectives I will talk about, which is the life cycle, which has 5 stages. I will also talk about designing the business model and also the transition from entrepreneurial to a managerial approach. And lastly, I'll talk about the growth. What are the key factors? So firstly, these are the stages: the venture development stages, startup activities, growth, business stabilization, and innovation and decline. So firstly, the life cycle. Well, you see here it has 5 stages. It has 5 stages. So when the business is given a venture like a project, it goes through these 5 stages. So first it goes to the development stage, which is exactly planning the base of the venture. So they'll plan like the skills, strategic and tactics needed for the venture to success in the business. And then secondly, it will go to the startup activity, where it will select all the individuals and all the staff to contribute towards the project for the business. And thirdly, it will go to the growth stage, which is when the growth stage is determining whether the 2 ideas in the first stage is working good or not. So at the startup activity, this is where entrepreneurs face most challenges, because they decide if the idea is working or not. If the idea is working, then it's good for their business. But if it's not, they review their strategy and tactics and skills and review what was wrong to improve it. Then it carries on from the growth strategy, from the growth stage, and it goes to the next, which is the business stabilization, which determines the progress of the venture to see how it is going. And lastly, it goes to the innovation and decline. So that meaning is because business is changing every yearly, and so it needs new resources and new ideas and ways for the business to be success, because you can't keep sticking on one idea for the business to grow. Okay, next, after these stages, after the 5 stages, they go to designing a business plan, which is indeed a plan it is planning an operation plan for the business to identify revenue and key resources for the business. It is basically like the first 5 stages, but this is more expanded because it involves like a financial plan, resources are involved, and also it involves products, customers, and looking at the financial side of the business to have a successful future. The business world is changing with new technologies coming into the market, which causes the business to foresee the system. So it's meaning as new resources are coming, new technology, new ways of doing business. So the business have to adapt to the changes. Okay. There are many ways this way of thinking can be changed by using two external resources. External resources, which is the staff in the company to grab the ideas, so everyone contributes to see what they can do to change the business. And lastly, what they can do is external resources, which is external resources is combining the ideas with other businesses to see how they can improve the business and make more ideas come to it. After that, the entrepreneurs change the transitions from entrepreneur to a manager. So this is when entrepreneur decides to change their focus from entrepreneur to manager. So they get to a side where they think of a management point of view. So once they do this, they ask themselves 3 questions. They ask these 3 opportunities. Where is the opportunity? How do you use that opportunity? What resources are needed for the opportunity? And what is the use of the opportunity? Indeed. Also, they need to have those characteristics in order for the business to grow. Lastly, I'll talk about is the key factors in the growth stages. So in the growth stages, there's 4 key factors. There's control, there's responsibility, tolerance of failure, and change. So in the first stage, entrepreneurs must understand the factors of the managerial process during the growth stages where challenges and problems are faced. So this is like simple to the first stage, which is the development, the startup activity, and the business stabilization, the growth, and the innovation and decline. So after that, after the growth stages, after the first stage, which is the control, they go to responsibility. So once the venture is doing good in the business, it increases responsibility. So the business allocates responsibility to each and every staff. So make sure they have something to work on for the venture, so everyone contributes. After that, after the responsibility, it goes, because sometimes in business there's failure and there's sometimes success. If there's failure, the business takes it as in 3 points. The failure points they take is moral failure, personal failure, and uncontrollable failure. So the first failure, which is the moral failure, it is based on trust. So the mutual expectations, this level of failure can lead to serious consequences. So if in a business, if it has a failure, it can lead some consequences, which means deduct of staff or deduct of profit, like that. Another failure they can have is personal failure, which is indeed if a staff makes something mistake or like a bad decision, it not only affects him but also involves the company because he is within the company. So that's where personal failure comes. Lastly, the uncontrollable failure. So this failure, the entrepreneurs are unexpected. They cannot be prepared for this failure because it can happen anytime. This is when limitations and the strategic directions go in the wrong place when what they were supposed to plan. And lastly, in the growth stages, is the change. So during the growth stages, the planning of the venture must be closely examined and find new and innovative ways and ideas for the business to improve. But like I said before, business can't stick to only one idea. They always need to have new ways to doing stuff, new technologies in the business, and new ideas for the company to be success. Thanks for my presentation. That's my presentation for entrepreneurial thinking and the growth stages and the business model. I will now pass it on to Shireen, who will carry on from here. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Hi class, my name is Shireen Cameron. So I'm going to be discussing the last 3 objectives and also got a really cool video for you guys to check out as well. So bear with me, I'm in real pain here. Hence the reason why I'm standing behind this and not over there, which I wanted to do. All right, so I'm going to discuss managing paradox and contradiction. And because of the increase in the growth of business, brings in multiple challenge for entrepreneurs to face an internal environment of an organization. So it's it's quite crucial for entrepreneurs to decide on whether to use the traditional method or be flexible towards the structure. So I've got a little graph here for you guys to see. The first one talks about formal and less formalized decision process making. And then we also look at business environment versus strategy. This one actually goes hand in hand together. Business environment, like they support risk taking as well as employee participation and decision making. Strategy, everybody knows about it, that's actually systematic, formal structure that supports business environment and taking the decision and also helping an employee to participate in decision making. Then the last one in this graph is strategic emphasis, quality versus cost versus innovation. Now, in my opinion, I think that fully looks at your customer. And so increases growth leads to controlling cost and enhancing product quality, improving product offering. And all of them, they are very, very important because rapidly growing firms are challenged to strike a balance among this. Hence the reason it's really important for them to decide which design works for them. The second one is confronting the growth wall. And again, to deal with the growth, many entrepreneurial owners confront a growth wall that seems too big to try and overcome. Therefore, researchers has found 6 steps that works for most entrepreneurs and owners. And the first one is entrepreneur is able to envision and anticipate the firm as a large entity. Team needed for tomorrow is hired and developed today, so always looking forward. Original core vision of the firm is constantly and reinforced as well, jealously. New big company processes are introduced gradually as supplements to, rather than replacement for, existing approaches. Hierarchy is minimized. Employees hold a financial stake in the firm. Now, I think this is actually, personally, I like this. The last one, employees holding a financial stake in the firm, gives you a bit of an ownership and pushes them to become more passionate about their job as well. With the confronting wall, there's also entrepreneurs got to keep an eye out for environmental change and trends as well, which is to create a growth task force. And this is where organization's strength and weakness is combined together to create a future development and planning for growth as well by having potential results of what's happening and looking towards the future and resolve any future segmentation. Maintaining a growth culture. This is by encouraging and rewarding growth-oriented attitude. Developing an outsider board of advice as well is really, really crucial because you can look into your own organization, what's happening, and get some feedback so you can actually move forward as well. So unique managerial concerns with the growth business. I have come up with, those are the 5 steps. So size. Since we're looking at entrepreneurial businesses, so we're going to talk about, there's different sizes, but usually starts with small and then expands into big, depending on how it goes in the industry. So the disadvantage of small businesses is that it's a limited market geographically, and also higher ordering costs, which means they can't get a lot of products in and buy a big amount. So the supplier's discount doesn't apply to them. Advantages are greater flexibility during decision making because they're small businesses, so it's easier for them to make decision right across the board rather than going through the board and all that, which you do in the big businesses. The key advantage in size, smaller size, is that it's constantly communicating with the community. The one person brand syndrome is a quote as the quote as business is entrepreneur, and entrepreneur is business. So therefore, one person band syndrome happens when an entrepreneur fails to delegate responsibility to employees, and thereby retaining all the decision-making authority. Time management. A person will never find a time to do anything, but must make time. 4 steps that's essential for effective use of time for owners or managers is to assess daily, analyze daily duties and rank them in the order of importance. Don't waste time. Creation of procedure, having a systematic process for employees to follow. Delegation, which also goes hand in hand with what I said about one person band syndrome. So in this case, you would job classification. And then community pressure. So community, you want to participate. There's 3 ways. You want to participate, leadership, and donation. Participation, they just think that because you're a business owner, you have ample of time. So you need to show that you are contributing in participation, but you don't really have that much time as well. Leadership, if you're an owner, leadership just comes naturally to most of business owners. Donation is really easy because you can actually put that in your budget. Continuously learning, I think it speaks for itself, but the quote is, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. However, entrepreneurs must delegate time to learn new techniques and principles for their businesses. Example is seminar and course, and what we're doing as well. Sustainable helix. Okay, so this helps us to understand how business can become more sustainable. And I've got this beautiful little graph here, and on this side, on the left-hand side, those are the 6 strands. So governance and management is actually a tool and process to ensure that the companies are not only growing economically, but are also socially and environmentally responsible. Operation and facilities is how to use efficient and effectively to reduce and help to reduce cost and any external impact on the organization. So always on lookout for improvement. Design and process innovation. This is listening to your persona and coming up with solution. And the good example is LifeChair that we did our assignment on. Human resource development and corporate culture. Sustainability strategies often dramatically improve productivity by creating healthier and more inspiring workplace. Marketing and communication. Nowadays, trust is the key for any brand or organization to have with their consumers. Therefore, sustainability offers opportunity for businesses to gather their competitive advantage. Partnership and stakeholders engagement, like I discussed in earlier slide as well, is to be the top dog in the industry. A company must take advantage of developing relationship, partnerships, and alliance with a range of other organizations and groups within the society. And the last stage. Okay, so there are 4 stages as well, as you could see in the helix graph here. So the 4 stages. Stage 1 is the journey stage, is to develop and understand of what sustainability is to organization, and then to explore the value of sustainability to the mission and business model of the company. Then stage 2 is the learning mode. The company becomes willingly to make a commitment to operate in more sustainable ways, such as assessing its social and environmental impacts and prove through the pilot project that the validity of the case for sustainability. Public commitment, that's just to show that you're environmentally and socially very responsible. And all of that will give you competitive advantage at the end, and you become a sustainable organization. So the whole point of it is to actually be a company that does and promotes best for your consumers. So I'm going to conclude it with a really awesome video, which Sean's going to play it for us. Thank you.
Use resources. Key to building a sustainable business is to put a value on those resources so they're used in the most efficient manner. There's a growing call for a fundamental rethinking of the way the economy works to meet future challenges. It's now necessary to build a broader platform to measure performance that recognises wider considerations, alongside the more familiar measures of profit, growth, and financial success. Making better use of materials, improving energy security, and increasing our social and environmental resilience, whilst helping our customers do the same, adds value to the economy and offers us new business opportunities, as well as reducing waste and carbon emissions, which will in turn allow us to live and work sustainably. We also need to recognise that what we do has a wider social benefit, whether providing opportunities for disadvantaged groups, investing in communities, or building skills for the future. This is about managing risk and realising opportunities. We need the right data to spur better financial decision-making and value more than just money. We're not looking at snapshots, but what gives better financial returns as a whole. Many areas of the world are in the early stages of treading the path towards a truly sustainable economic model. As markets mature, stakeholders will start to demand and expect sustainable ways of doing things. Collective knowledge and strength will move the agenda forward, benefiting people, the environment, and the bottom line.
Okay guys, so we're going to have a quick break where you can fill out some of the questions in the quiz. And well, so you can have a break from us talking at you. So, and it'll be 10 minutes. So my name's Sean and I'm going to be talking to you about why you need a business plan and the benefits and values that it will give you. So first of all, what is a sustainable business plan? A sustainable business plan is a plan that includes the sustainability of the business and the environment in which it occupies. Some pressures that are known environmentally as the key pressures that should be discussed in these sustainability plans are the effects of natural resources, and when a company does a sustainable business plan, they need to look at what is their resource that they are using, how sustainable is it, what happens when I run out of that resource. The second one is the effect that the environment has on their business. For example, if there's a disaster, like for Marmite, they had their factory in Christchurch and there was a natural disaster that shut them down. So people need to look at what are the possible disasters or effects that the environment can have on their business, and how would they go about treating these or bettering these situations. The last one is the climate. So this is stuff like if you are a company that creates a raincoat, you're not going to go and open up your business in the middle of the Sahara Desert where you get hardly any rain. So some advantages and disadvantages of a business plan. The advantages of a business plan are it offers organisational goals, and so that means that everyone within that organisation can see this plan, have a look at the goals and see how they can go about achieving these goals. The next one is when an idea is written down in a business plan, it often encourages people to look at the other aspects of it, like feasibility. Can we afford to develop this product or service at the level in which we would like to? Also, writing a business plan helps with critical evaluation. So this can be either from the entrepreneur writing his own business plan and then evaluating it, going, oh, okay, this isn't quite the same as what I thought it would be. Or the evaluation from investors or the entrepreneurial team that can go, oh, okay, I don't quite think that that's going to work. I think we should change this and work on these issues that could arise. Another key point is that a business plan offers a set performance management sort of measurable items in which the business can measure their performance against where they would like to be. And they can keep doing this consecutively until they decide they need a new business plan. It gives both the entity and entrepreneurial group and investors a way forward. It describes the business and shows them where they want to be, how they want to get there, in what time frame. It can also help reduce common pitfalls that may have happened before, or that people can see that, hey, we need to produce all this, we're not going to have enough money, before they get to that point where they don't have enough money. So the next one, some advantages about a sustainable business plan is it means that you can manage the environmental effects that your business is having on the environment and the environment is having on your business. You can come up with plans for reducing waste and and that's part of looking at how you affect the environment. And by segmenting this out, you can choose specific points, whether it's the natural resources and wanting to reduce them or making sure that your waste is down, to recycling resources so that it's not costing you as much at the time. Another one is, when you look at developing a sustainable business plan, you also look at developing sustainable products and services, meaning that you can continue to make these without a whole lot of pressures, be that running out of resources or that sort of thing. There are some disadvantages to making a business plan, but in my eyes I believe that they're not exactly disadvantages, as in the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages, and that is the time spent on preparation. For one entrepreneurial person that is wanting to develop an idea, spending this time can be, it's time spent doing a plan that in some people's eyes they could be out there developing their product, doing market research and all that stuff. The other one is the hours that people put in, because if you're an entrepreneur and you've got an entrepreneurial team, somehow they need to be paid, whether it's through wages, salary, or a stake in the company. But either way, they still need to be paid before the company has made any money. The next one is, who uses a business plan? So I've identified 4 main areas or main people that use a business plan, and these are the entrepreneurs and their team themselves, so that they can keep revising it and coming back and looking, where are we at, where do we want to be, how is this going. Then there's the banker or loans manager. If you go into a bank and you say, I need some funding for my new business, the first thing they're going to say is, what is your business plan? What is your strategy? How are you going to achieve this? What's your proof? Where's your proof? It's the same for an investor. They want to know what they're investing in. And is that investment going to be viable for them? The next one is a venture capitalist, and for those of you who don't know, a venture capitalist is someone who, it's like an investor, but they are more specific to, they find businesses that are starting up, whereas an investor can be anywhere from starting up to once they're fully in their niche and market. And a venture capitalist is going to want to know what the company or business or entrepreneur is going to want to be doing in order to make a profit at the end of the day. Because a venture capitalist is not just going to go out, see someone on the street and go, here's $10, pay me back or when you make some money off it. They want to know how you're going to make the money, know their risks. If they don't know that, their risks are a lot higher and they're not going to choose you. The next point is the mindset of a 5-minute reader. And a 5-minute reader is these people who are looking for investments or loan managers that are seeing these business plans, could be 100 a week type thing. And we've found 3 key points that are very important for grasping that first initial stage and getting them to read the rest of your business plan. And the first one is, the main points are the type of venture that you're in, what you are doing basically. The next one is the industry or niche. They're not going to want to invest in a company that is really small, has $10,000 worth of capital going up against Google, because the risks of failure are just too high. So by understanding the niche, they can sort of find the level of risk in that niche. The next one is obviously your financials. So your balance sheet, cash flow statement, and income statement. This is so that they've got some proof of money you have made, or your forecasting, how your cash flow's happening. Battery?
Yeah, the mic battery is gone.
And so the financials, and also they want to see your balance sheet to say, have you got any assets in case this goes wrong, basically. That's my part. Thank you for listening. I'll now introduce Harris on what's in a business plan.
Hi everyone, my name's Harris and I'll be taking you through what actually goes in the business plan today, and I'll kind of introduce of why it's important, and I'm going to be taking the perspective of the business plan in the entrepreneurial eyes, and assume that you all would like to know how to do it as an entrepreneur, because this is an entrepreneurship class. But first off, I'd like to thank you all for paying attention and coming in. I know it's late in the semester and you've seen a lot of these, but especially you judges, you all look amazing. The business plan. The business plan is one of the most important parts of the businesses. Without one, the company has no real direction, objective, and therefore will not grow. It gives a planned outlook of the company and sets new goals and how to achieve them. It is how entrepreneurs sell their company to potential investors. The business plan is crucial to any business, and having a good one is what can separate your startup from death or life. So first off, how do we create one? Executive summary is the first thing that needs to be at the top of your business plan. This is what pulls in the reader and attracts them to keep reading. This summary will give an overview of what is to follow in the report. By no means is this meant to be long and in depth. It is simply meant to get the reader's attention, who is the investor. This alone must carry the report, so quality is key. In the executive summary, only delve into the upper layer of the report. Refer to the venture, the marketplace, and the main financial needs. Again, this must be done in a way that will carry the investor's attention, as without the attention, your company has no funding. Next comes the business description. This part of the business plan is the introduction to the venture, and is the first part which should describe the business and the venture. The name should be acknowledged, the industry should be described, and past and future trends should be discussed. Discuss any future trends or legislation that will affect your venture. In the business description, it is time to sell the venture to potential investors. Discuss the potential of your venture and the competitive advantages your venture has against others in the same market. Examine the patents and the copyrights and trademarks as well as the market advantage. In this paragraph include potential drawings, drafts, and photographs. This paragraph is purely meant to show off your venture to investors by reading your plan. Next comes the sustainability. I think we can all agree here that sustainability and environmentally friendliness and business comes hand in hand nowadays. This is what investors are looking for as the world tries to move on to a more greener, more economic business, more sustainable business. Being sustainable in business and ecologically aware means that you will look better to potential investors and more likely to get investors. This paragraph should start with you talking about what sustainability means to you and your business. Also, describing the business's environmental plan and the steps you will take to be sustainable in business. Mentioning changes or new policies that your business is introducing to become greener is key in this paragraph. For example, mentioning a change in your supply chain to more environmentally friendly companies or using new ecologically sustainable technology is key. If your venture is not sustainable or environmentally friendly, it would be a good idea to disregard this paragraph in your business plan or change your business to become more inclined with sustainability and the environment. Describe the market and industry environmental record and how your business will differ from them. Next comes one of the more important parts, which is the marketing segment. The marketing part of the business will be important and should take larger part than the previous parts. This is part of the report where you must truly convince your investors into believing in your venture. You must talk about the competition, the market, how big the market is, how you intend on reaching your target market, how your company will beat the competition, how big your market share is, and the potential sales output of your company. The marketing part of the business plan is arguably the most important as it requires extensive market research and requires you to predict sales output. This is the part you're supposed to wow the investors and further convince them into your venture. This is difficult as it's hard for entrepreneurs to find the required information to present to the investors with information of sales and competition. Firstly, talk about your target market. Whether this is a niche market or a larger segment, you must decide on it. What they are currently purchasing using, how much they are paying, and other bases on which they purchase on are important to include. You should write about all potential customers and people organizations who have already expressed interest in your venture's product or service. Give contacts and referees. All of these will look good to investors looking to put money into your organization. Give sales predictions and market growth factors and delve deeper into trends that can affect your and change your market. Give a review on past market trends and how they have affected your market you're entering. This is important as it gives the investor an insight into what has happened and what can happen within your market that you are entering. Give predictions on your potential customer growth. You will be able to predict this by studying the market and your segment growth within the market in which your venture is entering. These things will appeal to the investor, so this is necessary. Discuss your competitive advantage in growth against your competitors. A review on competitive analysis will all be necessary. The next part of the marketing part of a business plan is the marketing strategy, the pricing strategy, and the advertising plan. This is essentially the marketing report on your company. Who will you market to, how you will market, what is the price of your product, and the forms of advertising you will use. This is basically just the 4 P's of the marketing brief: product, promotion, place, and price. Next up, we have the operations segment. In the operations segment of the report, discuss where you will be set up. The location is important as it shows investors you are a real organisation and you have thought all of this through, and you're not just creating a business plan without prior research, knowledge, and a basic ground for your company. You should then discuss the labour requirements and the capacity of the location where you intend to work. Discuss things such as wage rate, what departments you'll have, the structure of your business, the proximity to suppliers, and competition. Local laws will also need to be discussed as they will affect your venture. Next, discuss the type of machinery, computers, and other necessary components to your venture will be. Give the price and model and how that will depreciate over time. Investors like to see that you know what you're going to use, know the value of what you're going to use, and know how it will depreciate, as this is essentially what they are paying for. This is important as it shows investors you know what you need to succeed, and having a good knowledge of these items will impress. Then talk about their supply chain. Who will supply your company, where are they from, and how much it will cost, and the sustainability are all important things whilst writing this part. Next up is the sustainable development measures of performance. Like other sustainable segment of the report, this should delve into the economically friendliness of your organisation. But you should write more about how your company will be sustainable and your monetary contribution to the environment. You should also write about how this will affect your stakeholders, i.e. the investors or venture capitalists investing in your company. Talk about how your company's contribution to the environment will change on a global and local setting. You must talk about greenhouse gases and how you will try to reduce them, measure your carbon footprint, and come up with ways to reduce it. Plan to use renewable sources and talk about the environment will factor into key business decisions. This is important as, like I said before, investors are kind of looking for nowadays businesses that are not only profitable but environmentally friendly. If you put this part into your business plan about how your environmentally friendliness will affect stakeholders, it can be a key between, say, another company giving your their business plan to the same venture capitalist, as Sean has already mentioned. This is a very important part to report, as potential investors will be looking at sustainability and how you can be environmentally friendly with your business. Next comes the management section. The management section will dive deeper into the structure of the business. This will allow investors to see what type of company you are, name the board of directors and the differing departments and managers within the company. If the company is small, give a prediction for the future and what departments it will have. Resumes of the management team will need to be included as an appendix, which is at the end. This will show potential investors of the talent within your organisation and will prove the potential. The current shareholders will need to be discussed in full detail, and where the new investors would fit in would be crucial. Next comes the financial part. Now this is another very important part along with the marketing part. The financial part is the numbers behind it. You can talk about anything you want in the other parts, but the financial part won't lie because it's the obvious numbers behind the company. The financial section of the report is another section that is very important. The three basic financial statements will need to be included in this section. They are the pro forma balance sheet, the income statement, and cash flow statement. The pro forma balance sheet is important as it is the predicted balance sheet. It is a balance sheet that is predicted as a point in the future. Investors would like to see this and the future of assets and equity, and this is the perfect way to show it off. The cash flow statement is the next sheet to be included. It is important as it shows how much cash is in, how much will be going out on various things. An income statement will also be necessary. Next comes the critical risk segment. This is the part of the business plan where the main risks into your venture should be explained. Unfavourable market trends, unexpected manufacturing costs or any large expenses should be covered, with explanation of how your ventures are going to overcome it. Also, covering what ifs, such as natural disasters and other things that Sean has already covered, is important, as investors would like to see this, as we've seen with companies such as the nuclear power plant in Japan. Investors like to see how you will react to these situations as they have become a critical part in today's business environment. Also covering what ifs is smart as in potential investors like a plan on what will happen to their money and their shares if unexpected things happen in the various business environments. The harvest strategy comes next. The harvest strategy has to do with how your business is expected to grow over time and what transitions and changes will take place as these changes within your business happen. This includes everything from pay packets to staff needed. Now, this is important to investors as this pretty much is describing your future as a business. This is how you plan to grow, how you plan to make more money, and how you plan to change your business in the future. All of this is important as a company that is willing to stay on the same linear path is not as enticing to companies that are planning to move, create new possible ventures and other things like that. Next comes the milestone schedule segment. This is the part of the report will include a timeline of when you will achieve the points mentioned in the harvest strategy segment and any other important timelines in your business or venture. Next comes the appendix and bibliography, which just includes any diagrams, blueprints, and the bibliography of your thing. So this includes the pictures, the resumes, blueprints of your company or product, and just the bibliography. Now thanks. I'm going to pass you on to Sean, who will introduce you to the game and the quiz results. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for listening. Actually, we'll have a break before Sean does that. But I'd like you all to just trust it in your groups, because the game is quite a group-orientated thing. So if you could all just move to your groups so you can kind of chat and stuff.
And also, like, that'll be 10 minutes again, and we're going to come and collect the quizzes that you've got in 5 minutes. We're going to start the game now. So the instructions are on the back of the pamphlet, but basically what will happen is you all start with 25 points, and you bet those points to be given the question. So you get this, you bid for those points, and that gives your team the right to answer them. You answer it right, you get those points. You can't answer it, or you answer wrong, you lose those points. If no one bids, the starting bid will be 5 points, and it will go to the in consecutive. So if no one bids on this one, this group here will have it for 5 points, and they have to answer it. Okay? So first question, question 1. Who would like it? So you start by, you've got 25 points, you can bid an amount.
Do we see the question first so we know how much we want to bid?
No, that's the point. So there's a little bit of a thing. So for you guys, because you guys are the automatic, like, going to be it, you should bid at least 1 point, because otherwise it's 5. And then, so you go round, and this is part of, like, the score for the goodies at the end.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll take it. We'll bid 20.
20 points. You've only got 25. Okay, anyone gonna try and counter that? No? Okay.
Oh, I hope it's an easy one.
So, now you're sitting in your orders, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is your question.
Can we look at slides?
Yeah. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Have you got an answer? Okay, you've
B?
got E?
B.
B.
Second.
Yep, that's right.
How much do you have? 20?
20, it's up there, so 45. Okay, so the next question, question 2. Would anyone like to start with an opening bid? Peter? Anyone? No? Because we'll give it to a team. Okay, so it's going to AB for 5 points if no one bids. So if you guys bid a point, then it saves you losing 5 if you want. Okay, so AB answering for 5 points. And this is your question. Okay, so you're not sitting in your order then?
We're CD.
Is that okay? So swap those two names around so that we know that. Okay, so CD, would you like to bid less than that, or are you just going to take the 5 points? This is your question.
CD.
For CD.
What's your question first? I don't know if they're going to bid more. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you guys ready to answer?
We want to bid a little more.
Okay. How much are you bidding?
I'll leave. Let's not change that bid after they've seen the question.
Okay, we'll do all of it.
25.
Okay.
Okay. You only get 5 seconds because you've seen the question as well. Okay? So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I have a answer, please?
D.
D? Let's see.
You're out.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
That's scary.
Don't worry, it's not like the quiz that you did at the start does put in points as well at the end. Okay, so question 3. Yeah, so any team can bid.
You guys can bid on
Yeah.
this question if you want.
We'll bid 15.
15?
Yeah.
Anyone want to bid more? Yes, you have. You've got 25. Yeah, you start with 25 points. Yeah, that's in the instructions. So, are you going to beat 15? Oh, no, so they've done 15, so you have to do 16 or higher. 16?
You just want to play.
Are you guys going to beat 16?
What can you Z. Z.
Okay. So you got 10 seconds. 10, 9. You've got them? Okay.
Income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so they get 16 points. Okay, next question. Any takers? Come on, guys. You have to bid.
We'll bid 20.
20? Okay. Is anyone going to beat that? No? We can see the 5 points.
Make sure you're waiting for us to lose one.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay, so
CD have gained a complimentary 5 points.
yep. So you ready for your question?
Yeah.
Okay. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We should describe the business and adventure, the industry description, past and future trends, potential of the venture and competitive advantages, and patents and copyrights.
I'm pretty sure you got it all. Okay. So question 5. Any takers? Okay, if no one answers, the judges have to answer for 5 points. So if in, so 10. We've got 10 here.
Is it Z?
Yeah.
Should we give them 5?
Yeah. So yeah.
What's the bid?
It's 10. 10.
We'll bid 12.
12? Okay. Anyone gonna? Whoop.
15.
15?
Bring it on.
15.5. No, just 16.
16? Any takers?
No, we'll pull out.
No? Okay. Ready for your question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Sorry, what's that? Marketing segment. Yep. Okay, so that was 16. Cool. Okay, question 6. Any takers? Who hasn't done it? Okay, AB's getting this one if no one does. Okay. How much?
We'll bid out 5.
You're 5? Are you sure?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Ready for your question? If no one's gonna...
We'll bid 6.
We'll bet 9.
9, 10,
11.
11. Come on,
15.
AB.
15. 16.
16,
20.
20.
We should consult.
Okay.
21.
21.
Should I bet 42 and then
Equals double points.
what if we get it wrong?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll still be ahead.
So it's still, is it 24 at the back?
Wait, what?
Points? Or 21? 21
They
points?
say 20.
Yeah, and you...
I said 21.
Okay. So it's judges?
Oh, is it?
Yep. Okay, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Entrepreneur, a banker, an investor, and a venture capitalist.
Yeah. 21.
Now they're ahead of us.
No, we're still ahead.
Oh,
We're at 65.
62.
Yeah, something like that. We're just gonna stay ahead.
Okay, because AB's being the silent child, they've got the next one for 5 points. So, you guys ready? Or you can increase the points if you want. You're happy with 5? Okay. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, D. B. That's 20. Okay. Question 8. Any takers? CD?
Go for it. All in.
All in. Okay, that's what it said. Okay.
We got 2.
Okay.
We're better than you.
Let's go 42.
I should be mean in 2 seconds.
Hey, wait, we're going to bid 42.
If someone does
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's EF for 42. Okay. 10. No, this is 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick one quickly.
You do it. You want it to be the 42?
B? Okay. Okay. I think we should limit the bid. Okay. Question 9. Bids except for EF. So that people can catch up.
We'll do 5.
5 points? Okay.
Judges, wait all in.
Okay. You ready? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Got an answer? Okay, that's meant to be start, but is that your answer? C? No? I need an answer, guys. Need an answer? B? No? Quickly, come on, guys.
We're going to say the answer is.
A, B, C, or D?
D.
D?
I changed my mind.
Okay, so next question. Question 10, any takers? 10 points? Okay. 11? 12? 12 at the judges? 15? Or they said 15 first, so if you want to go 16? 16? 16 on Z?
No, yeah, no.
Oh, 100.
Go.
16.
16 at Z. 17? 17 at the judges?
18.
18?
19.
That's AB. Okay, so 18 at...
Judges on, mate.
Is it AB?
Oh!
How many is that? 41. Okay. Okay, ready for your question? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, guys, it's... C? Yeah. Okay. Okay. This one is just for AB, well, and the judges. Or CD can have 1 point.
We'll nominate 7 for CD. We can have 7 of ours.
Okay. So this is for CD, AB, and the judges. For question 11.
Maybe just put 5.
Yeah, go in.
You've done you well so far.
10? Okay, so 10 at AB. Judges?
20.
20? Oh, okay. Judges it is.
I'm sorry. You want me to say 19?
Okay, you ready, judges? Okay. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Need an answer? Quickly!
Can we get it after? That's it.
What's the answer, guys?
Can we raise?
Oh,
All in.
someone yell out the answer? C.
C? C? No, it's 1 year. I told you guys! Okay. So for question 12, any bids? CD, want to give this one a go?
How many questions you got?
Ah, there's 20, so there's 8 more.
10.
AB 10.
Go all in.
T for AB.
Go all in.
Okay, any bids? Who? So who am I doing? Okay, so AB has been nominated for 10 points. Anyone gonna top that?
No, let them ask.
Nope. Okay. Question 12 for AB. Oh, this is an easy one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. True or false, guys? True? Yep. So, CD. Okay. Question 13. CD?
What is 3?
3 points?
10. 5. Oh, come on, give them a chance.
Okay, so right now we've got CD at 3. Yep. Okay.
Give them a chance.
Ready?
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
B.
B? You both agree on that?
No. One is. Which one's Helix? Oh, Helix is 6. So then. We'll go with B.
With B? Is it what? Let's see. Yeah. So it's okay. Apparently that's an error, but we'll say B because that's what's in the question.
The answer is actually C.
Yes.
Are you sure? Because that was the stage.
It's the
So it's the strands, and I believe it is in the helix, the 4 stages. But okay. So question 14. So is that a bid from the judges? An all-in from the judges? No. 10. So 10 points at AB. 20 points at the judges.
We'll bid 25.
25. Anyone gonna go for higher than 25?
Can you go your home? 25.
You can afford it, judges.
Okay, we're good. 27.
Yeah.
27.
What was it? Yeah, but what's the bid? So is it 27 from the judges, the bid? Okay. You ready for the question? What are the 4 stages?
Journey stage, learning mode, public commitment, public advantage.
Yep.
Why did you put 70?
So question 15. There's 5 more questions, guys. Come on, we got to get rid of VF. Someone has to catch up. 12. Okay. No one else? Okay.
No, wait. We'll have 15.
15. Okay, if you go all in, no one can top it for these last 5. So there's 15 at EF.
Any takers?
Any takers, or is EF?
Yeah, 15.
No, so 15. 17 at the judges.
25.
25. 27.
30.
30. 33.
40.
40.
Alicia. Gosh.
So it's 40 for EF. No more takers? Okay, so EF, question 15. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Why do we get
1.
5 and everyone else I
Because
heard
it's
you come
multiple
from
choice.
Answer.
control, responsibility, tolerance of failure, and change.
Wrong.
Which one?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's
which one is
Let's have a vote. Okay, question 16. 10? 10 for AB. You don't want to try and get those points back?
I feel like everyone's against.
No, they're just jealous that you win. So 10 points for AB.
We'll go 20.
Okay, 20. 21. 30. You haven't got 35.
If you go all in, no one can beat you.
Well, they were all in, yes.
Yeah, but they went 30.
Are you guys going 35?
No.
So,
Are they teaching?
Yeah, this is it.
so have you guys?
No, we're good.
No. So it's 31 at the judges. Yeah. So,
The judges are
anyone else? No? Okay, this one's
35.
35? 35 for EF? Yeah, okay, EF. Ready? I'll give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, D?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Next question, 17. EF, you want to do an all-in? No one can beat you?
Hey, Alan. Team CD's all in.
I'll take that. So, CD, do you want it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. There you go. So, okay, so 5, 4, A?
Yes.
Right. So, they get, no, they put in 10.
Oh, they put 10?
Yeah, they went all in, so 20 minutes. Okay. 18? Any bidders? So 10 for AB.
All in, all in.
Oh!
Okay, so all in for Z. Okay, ready?
Yes. Go for it.
We can't stop it.
Okay. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Need an answer, guys. Come on, guys, I need an answer, otherwise it's...
Just say it.
Just say your answer.
Let's say it, guys. Okay.
Take a guess.
Is it a one word or can I explain the whole thing?
It's an explanation, I think.
Okay. The top reason will be when there's a big company where they can buy a huge amount of discount, where a small company they can only buy a little.
So you're saying discounts and like, so not being able to match the buy price? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like competitive pricing?
Yeah.
Okay. That's lack of planning.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
It's fine.
This one's, so this is the last bidding round.
We're going to see if the judges
have to
Okay. Come on, judges, all in. No? Any 10? So 10 for AB.
All in. No one can stop that.
That defeats the purpose because you're only going to get 0 back. So anyone besides Z.
Yeah, we're all in.
Okay, judges all in. Okay, ready?
No, wait.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Need an answer? B. Yeah. Okay, should we do the last one for like 50 points? Yeah. Okay, so the last one is for 50 points, and it's not betting it. It's you need to nominate one person from each of your groups, and they're going to stand at the back of the room, and when your groups come up with the answer in that, they have to run and touch the table. First person to touch the table gets to answer that question. Okay? So
does the person running have to answer, or can...
No, it can be the whole team. Like, yeah.
So just one person to run.
Yeah, but you have to answer as soon as you touch. You can't like run and touch and then be like,
What's the answer, guys? Yeah. Okay.
You just have to say it like 1 second.
So maybe not like. Actually, maybe we instead of running. Okay. How about first put up? Okay. Okay. No. Okay. So we'll change it because it's a bit unfair. And that. The first person to have one person in their group stand up gets to answer it, but they have to answer straight away. And as soon as they stand up, the question's gone.
All your points.
Yep.
That's the consequence.
No, it's for 50 points. It's for 50 points. Yeah. Okay. So is everyone ready? Everyone know who's standing up? Okay. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. EF, you need to answer.
As soon as now.
So do we say
F?
F? Yeah. So they get 50 points.
Do we win?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So we're just going to calculate the points because this is only half of the points. The rest comes from the quiz earlier. So we're just going to add that up quickly and then.
The gambling is not good. Learn your lesson, guys.
Okay, the winner by 8 points is the judges.
Oh, look at that, we missed that.
Together
Okay, so second place is DS.
We get some more.
And they get those. The ultimate winner is So now if anyone's got any questions for our group, they would like to ask those. And that can be the judges as well, otherwise we'll just skip to the judging part. No questions? Okay, should we just move on to the judging part then? Oh, you've got one, Peter?
You've shown us it takes a lot of time to do business planning for a venture.
Yeah.
In your view as the participants, have you become, how convinced are you of the value of formal planning?
To be honest, I know I am 100%. Like, the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages, and so, and it also offers you sort of, a sort of set guide of how you, you can obviously change it as you go, but it sort of gives you, if you get to a point where you don't know where you're going, you can refer back to your original business plan. So yeah, I would, if I was starting a business, I would definitely do a business plan. How about you guys?
Oh yeah, I agree. Not only for yourself, but for the investors as well. It's a great opportunity to let them know how your business is going to grow and stuff. So I think it's necessary in today's business environment to have one when so many other businesses are going to be doing, if not more. But if you can explain it better or put it on paper better, then it might seem better to potential investors.
Yeah, not everyone can just spin a yarn and get someone to be, oh yep, that's a great idea.
There's a lot more than that nowadays.
Yeah. You go? You just agree? Okay, yep. Any other questions? Yeah.
You've explained the business plan and the parts it's made up, and you've shown that it's a lot of work to do it. And now you've added sustainability to the business plan. From your personal point of view, would you think it's worth the effort of doing it? I mean, it's hard to start a business and setting up a business plan, but if you start considering sustainability
Of doing the
as well,
sustainability
it's even harder,
side?
it's even more expensive. So
Yeah.
do you think it's worth doing it? Do it easier and faster? Will it
I think that a sustainability plan is good. For someone starting out straight away, maybe not quite as good. As in, I think myself, I would bring the sustainability in once everything's sort of working, because then you've got a product to evaluate at the same time.
Yeah, I think it kind of just depends also on what market you're trying to enter. Because if you're entering, say, a market for baby care, mums, like young mums, are going to be buying this, and they're going to, I think they're going to kind of want to see. It depends what type. Yeah, it just depends. Like if they're a high price, they're going to want to see sustainability in that. So if you're entering, say, like a steelworks or something, you're still going to need the sustainability because there's a lot of legislation and other things like that that have come into process and that you need to abide by with environmentally friendliness and emissions and other things like that. So it is important, but it kind of also depends what market you're going into.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, like my family runs a hard landscaping, so building landscaping company, and I mean, we have never sat down and done a sustainability report or plan, because like it is relevant and I can see the interest in there, but for us, like the only investors are family, so worrying about what the investors think isn't really an issue. And then looking at like our products and that is what we do, there's always another alternative, but other than that we haven't looked at this tree is being planted now and it's being turned into this product and then we're using it and what happens after that. So
yeah, I think that's a good point because it kind of also depends on the size of your business. If you're a multinational, then sustainability has to be one of your
key issues
because you're constantly in the public eye. Say things like Nestle in the African baby powder crisis, that pretty much sunk Nestle for a long time.
Cadbury with cocoa.
Yeah, yeah. And also, with palm oil and other things like that. If you're a multinational, then sustainability is a
big issue.
Yeah. If you're a smaller business, say small business, New Zealand standards, it might not be so much of a issue.
Yeah.
Answer your question?
Okay, anyone else, or should we continue to judging?
What have been some of the challenges of putting your presentation together?
Sleep. Not enough of it. I think also our group, because our timetables are very different, and a lot of us are living out of home and that, so we're having to come up with rent and that, so we have to do a lot of work. And I mean, I know for myself, I structured work around uni at the start of the semester, and you sort of have to change that and find a time that suits with everyone, that everyone can turn up and contribute. So I would say, the meeting up and sort of developing ideas together, because anyone can go onto a Google Doc, but it doesn't necessarily link or make sense. So the face-to-face side is a challenge. But
I think it was also hard trying to fit it into everything, because in the last week it was pretty much the worst week to do this, because it's probably the busiest week of my whole
4 group assignments, 2 on one day.
In my whole
Not
semester.
fun.
So, and I also stuff that happened at work, so I couldn't make the meeting yesterday, so that was quite stressful because I was trying to just get all the information afterwards
and just the finishing touches. And I think we had about 5 PowerPoints that were slightly different circulating around, and it was like, which one's right? Until we just had to just stop and one person at a time type thing. Whereas I think when you're face to face, you get that one person at a time, compared to everyone sending an email at the same time and which one's right?
I also, I'm speaking for myself here, but coming off the holidays, I've looked at this assignment as I'll start it after the holidays, because I've always seen it as 2 weeks. And then once all these other assignments and work gets put on top of that, it's only about...
It gets very short.
Yeah, it's only about a couple of days, and then you're like, oh, well, I wish I started this before the holidays, because the holidays are
And like before the holidays,
It's like a visual illusion.
we had questions, but we didn't have any of the formatting on the PowerPoint and that kind of stuff. So, like, we had it there, but it wasn't structured. It was, and there's no way you could sort of present off it, I guess.
Sean, you mentioned that you come from a business family, or
yeah.
small business family. What ideas have you learned from this presentation that you think you can apply?
Well, I mean, we have a business plan already, but it is more based around the fact that our investors are the family. Whereas I think if we look at like growing the business bigger and including external investors, that we will have to do like a bit of work in the sustainability area and like in terms of sort of how it's viewed by someone else, because I mean for us it's like it runs smoothly, it provides for our family and all that kind of stuff, but for someone else, like when you invest in a company, you don't invest for it to be a nice hum along business, you invest for gain. And I think that doing a business plan now for the different type of investors, and also if we had to go and get financing, at the moment we buy as we need. We don't believe in sort of going out and getting a whole lot of infrastructure before you've got $1 in the door. So I think there would be a bit of stuff that we'd sort of change around for the external viewer of our reports.
Okay, judges will just sort out their feedback and marking comments. If you can have the microphone down here, just let the team put the hand.
You look really good today, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, just one positive point from a few of you. Let's start down here. So just one positive point about the presentation.
I think you guys done very well, and also the game is quite funny.
And actual on ads is very effective, and the topic focus is directly.
And you guys very clear, speaking very clearly, and I really like the game because we won.
The transition between the speaker, it's really smooth.
I really like your presentation content because it was precise, clear, and to the point. Because you had such a broad topic and you nailed it down to the most important parts.
Yeah. Further on that, especially when it came to like everything that we needed to know, we could just find it all in the PowerPoint, which was really helpful when it came to like questions in the quiz.
I think your slides are very clear and designed in an appropriate manner. I mean, every slide is to the point, like what is it about.
And building on the slide, yeah, you had a good, clear, consistent design through the slides. Okay, thanks. Areas of improvement.
Just one thing have to improve. Just I heard the speaker too. Second speaker's voice a little bit small. Yeah, should be little. Yeah.
And you need more body language. Yeah.
For the PPT slides, some slide the color choose. So I remember the light green and the light white doesn't show the letters because you use the light blue and the letter is light white. But maybe you can see clearly on the computer, but here is not very clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, the same with the layout. The colors were sometimes not the right ones because really hard to read, and I think you've had too much text. You could have just nailed it down to bullet points and explained it more. And the non-verbal communication while you were presenting was a bit low. You could have done more. You could have interacted more with the audience.
Yeah. Also, a couple of the speakers were kind of not as loud as the others, so it was harder to hear them from way back here. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, as Michael said, I like your presentation as a team, but not individually. I mean, I'm not going to point out at anyone, but some of you guys are not very clear and audible to me as well.
Right, I was going to make the same point. When you do your rehearsals, you need to make sure that someone at the back of the room can hear you, so you need to project loud and strongly, and be ready to project more loudly, because today we've got lawnmowers, which we've had the last few weeks, but we also had some bashing and banging. So it's better to be loud than too loud, rather than too quiet. Right. Okay. Wrap up now. Some positive points. Any other positive points you've got to make? Positive points? Any positive points? Yep.
I really liked how everyone knew what they were talking about, but I noticed that is it Sean? You didn't have like anything to read off of. You it looked like you knew everything off by heart. Am I right?
Yeah, well, I did have a
Oh, yeah. Well, like majority of the time you were like looking at the class, which was really good. Yeah, I just noticed that above everything else.
I really liked how you answered my question because it was a good, clear answer, and I really like that you added some personalized content to it, so you could tell from your personal experience and how it actually does not affect you, which I thought is really good and reasonable as well.
Yeah, I too agree that the question handling was done very well, and good to make linkage to your own personal experience within both the group's work and Sean's work experience with his family business. So that was good to bring in there. And I compliment you on that on the slides in the presentation, because there was a kind of consistency and integrated design to it, and then when you hear about the difficulties and challenges you had getting it together, choosing which PowerPoint presentation it was, you've done a good job getting that integration. And finally, I must compliment you on your very excellent calculations of who won the competition at the end. Well, we can't hear what you're saying, so it's not being recorded. So we just want to